The computer chip. It's used in nearly all of our electronics, from our cell phones to supercomputers. But what makes a computer chip work? How is it made? And how does the production of these chips affect the world around us? There are two main resources used in these chips, that being silicon and copper, but today we're only going to focus on the copper. It's used in the tech industry because of its high thermal and electrical conductivity. It's found in nature as sulfate and oxide, but the ores usually contain only around 0.5 to 2.0% of the mineral. However, the Mineral Commodity Summaries, published by the U.S. Geological Survey, estimated the world's total copper production was 18.7 million tons in 2014. For scale, that's around the same weight as 75,000 Boeing 787s at their maximum weight. Interestingly enough, Chile is actually the world's largest copper producing country, containing the mine Escondida, and this is followed secondly by China. The US alone produced 1.37 million tons of copper this year, compared to Chile's 6.06 million. So how is copper actually integrated within the CPU? First, the copper ore is ground, concentrated, and slurred with water and chemicals. The copper is then refined through heating or by using chemical solutions depending on the ore type and other economical factors. Oxygen, iron, sulfuric acid, silica, and other various organic compounds are chemicals that are often involved in copper refining. Waste products include residue and small stone-like byproducts. These byproducts can contain lead, arsenic, and other toxic chemicals, and if they are not dealt with properly, it can cause a health hazard to neighboring communities. The processing of copper produces air emissions such as sulfur dioxide and particulates containing iron, copper oxides, and sulfates. Treatment methods for this waste include capturing particulates by using emission control equipment and turning sulfur dioxide into sulfuric acid through something called the contact process. After treatment, copper is filled into holes etched on the top insulation layer. Tiny copper wires are built in order to transfer electricity, and finally the wafer is tested. After being tested, the wafer is then cut up into its individual chips, and these individual chips are then packaged into plastic shells. This completes the manufacturing of a CPU. So what happens once the CPU has completed its life cycle? Well, the amount of copper in a computer chip is only measurable in micrograms, making it not that economical to smelt down for the copper. However, these chips are often recycled for the silicon within them, making it worthwhile for companies such as IBM to take in older computer chips. Oftentimes, computer chips are reused if they still work, but if the chip is unusable, they are often sent to scrap shops or recycling plants that will either sell the unusable parts or take them apart.